Hello, good evening and welcome to Business Live. Coming up, Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, expresses commitment to continue to represent the collective interests of its members despite the pullout of Star Oil of the Chamber. We will be telling you what we know so far. Also in this bulletin, government actively pursuing reforms aimed at strengthening the country's industrial sector.
Government is therefore pursuing reforms to improve the business environment, streamline regulations, expand access to finance for SMEs, and invest in critical infrastructure such as energy, transport, and digital transformation as key enablers.
Plus, Ministry of Finance set to develop a 10-year insurance master plan by the end of the year.
The insurance master plan will serve as a blueprint for policy, regulation, and institutional reforms aimed at addressing structural challenges such as low penetration, fragmented regulatory frameworks, pricing inefficiencies, and other market constraints.
We have details of these and more for you. Please stay on. Thanks so much for your time. I am Pius Kujobaka, and look now at our stories. Government says it is actively pursuing reforms aimed at strengthening the country's industrial sector. This was revealed by Chief of Staff Julius Debra during the investiture ceremony of the new president and council members of the Association of Ghana Industries. According to Mr. Debra, these reforms are part of a broader strategy to enhance industrial growth, attract investment, and create jobs for Ghanaians. He urged the private sector to collaborate with government initiatives to ensure sustainable industrial development.
The Chief of Staff at the event described the Association of Ghana Industries as a critical partner in national development and urged industry players to support government efforts at economic transformation.
This therefore brings into question the extent to which we are adding value to our raw materials and the extent of export diversification. The outcomes we expect calls for a private sector that is innovative, formalized, and export-oriented, and a public sector that is responsive, predictable, and accountable. Government is therefore pursuing reforms to improve the business environment, streamline regulations, expand access to finance for SMEs, and invest in critical infrastructure such as energy, transport, and digital transformation as key enablers.
In his remarks, new president of the Association of Ghana Industries, pharmacist Kofi Nsiapoku, said the association will continue to engage government and relevant stakeholders to address challenges confronting the industry sector.
As we embark on this journey, one truth remains undeniable. Industry thrives on collaboration. No single institution can transform the economy alone. We must strengthen partnerships with government and government agencies, academia, financial institutions, international development partners, and most importantly, with one another. Let us choose collaboration over competition, synergy over silos, collective progress over individual gain. Ghana's industrialization is a shared national responsibility, and AGI must lead the way.
The investiture brought together key industry stakeholders and policymakers, highlighting the role of industry in Ghana's development agenda.
And to that big story we are following up for you, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, has expressed its commitment to continue to represent the collective interests of its members despite the pullout of Star Oil from the chamber. Now, in the last couple of minutes, COMAC has issued a statement to that effect. My colleague James Shen joins me in studio to tell us more about it. But first off, James, thank you so much for joining me on Business Live. You were at the meeting today. Tell us what transpired.
Well, so we understand the meeting was supposed to be a face-to-face or an in-person one, but it was later moved to virtual. Now, the question is, why are we having these emergency meetings? And it had to do with the fact that Star Oil yesterday decided to suspend the membership from the COMAC. So basically, that's what transpired. It was actually a calm atmosphere since it was virtual, but we wanted to have a conversation with the chief executive. I understand the meeting had to drag for a while, so we couldn't really do that.
So you can tell us whether the meeting is still ongoing or not?
Well, for now, we know it has ended, and that's how come we've seen the statement being released by the association.
All right, so walk us through the statements issued by COPEC as we have it.
Also on the screen now, you could see the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, where they stated that the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies acknowledges recent public statement regarding the self-suspension of the membership by one of its members. Well, COMAC respects the right of its members to make independent decisions about their participation and the collective goal of the chamber. The chamber also went ahead to also make the point that notwithstanding, COMAC remains strong, united, and unwavering in its commitment to representing the collective interest of its members, protecting consumers, and promoting sustainable growth and development of the industry for the ultimate benefit of the general public. Also, they value diverse perspectives and encourage open dialogue among members as they work together to achieve their shared goals. Also, COMAC also went ahead to also point out that it will continue to engage with the industry regulator and all stakeholders to address issues affecting the effective implementation of policies within the sector. Also, they assure the public and other stakeholders that COMAC will consistently operate in line with its established principles and collective decisions, fostering a fair, inclusive, and transparent environment for all members. So this is the statement coming from the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, and we understand this had to do with the fact that, after the engagement today, that was virtually, they had to put this out.
All right, thank you very much, James Shen, for that update. And we've got to make sense out of that. Let's get on phones and speak with Derek Hatcher, Senior Research and Policy Analyst at the Institute for Energy Security. Thank you so much, Derek, for making time to join us here on Business Live. Your quick thoughts about COMAC's response to Star Oil's pullout.
Good afternoon, and thanks for the opportunity. So as an industry, and then having their membership, basically, of things that promotes their members' welfare, whether it is from promotion, whether it's from collaboration, whether it is for industry policy and whatever thing. All of them inures to the benefit of their members and then as well as the general public. And so here lies the case, one of their members is pulling out. Quite not a good thing, definitely, but as it may be, they have to come to the drawing table and then have that consensus where they'll be able to address or listen to Star Oil, whatever thing that is their concern, and then internally they can be able to arrive at a general consensus. Because be as it may, they pulling out of it is not a good thing for their collective voice, but definitely Star Oil pulling out of that does not weaken the voice of COMAC, because definitely that is a larger umbrella body which is having a superpower as compared to that of a Star Oil. Just that it does not promote that unified front that we expect from them as a chamber.
But really, do you believe that the chamber's move to reconcile with Star Oil can restore industry unity, or deeper policy reforms needed to address the issues raised?
Well, for them, definitely, to be a member of an organization, there are rules and regulations that govern it. And so for them to be able to boast of a huge number of membership, then it means that they are doing something that is standardized and then cut across each of them. And so for one party, or let me say Star Oil, to be aggrieved because of its position on something, definitely the right way to resolve it definitely wouldn't have been to come to the media, because you will have internal mechanisms to address any concern that you have. And so that unity that we expect from them is not being achieved as it stands right now. But I believe that the majority of them, the majority of members, side chamber as it stands, and then Star Oil out of it does not weaken their voice, but also defeats the purpose of which Star Oil is calling for any amendments in the price floor, because be as it may, the chamber is more collective than just one person. It is not that you boast of about a huge percentage of contribution to the industry or the chamber. COMAC has a huge number of members, about 140 plus, and then the Star Oil's contribution to COMAC is not even above 30%. And so definitely you pulling out of it is not a good thing. We expect a unified front, but it will not weaken COMAC's point. And we expect that they'll be able to arrive at the consensus for the unity and for the better movement of the industry. That is what positions them better to be able to engage the regulator.
Well, the regulator, which of course is NPA, has indicated it is open to reviewing the policy. What specific changes should the industry propose to ensure fairness and sustainability?
All right, so in reviewing the policy, you have to look at what were some of the reasons that were taken into account before the policy was proposed. The policy was proposed or implemented by NPA in collaboration with COMAC. So by that time, COMAC came together and brought out something that they considered very vital, and some of them were to ensure efficiency in the industry, where they can be able to recover costs, where they'll be able to ensure uniform pricing and a continuous supply of petroleum products, as well as protect some of the oil market companies that were now going up. Then they might started as leaders if the players supposed to certain. And so that was collective gain for which came and then proposed that particular price floor. Now, if they want a revision of it, if they want it to be amended, then they will have to now come out with a position which shows that maybe now they are more efficient. There's now proper supervisory oversight on the part of NPA to be able to ensure that there isn't any form of smuggling, and then there's that kind of, they've been able to achieve efficiency where cost recovery is being maintained, so that we don't expect some of them to be crowded out of the industry, or it does not inure to the advantage of just maybe one player who has a bigger competitive advantage. If they're able to come up with all this and then the solution is being realized, then this policy intervention of price floor can be removed or maybe abolished within the shortest time. But if they are not able to convince the regulator that whatever thing that the regulator is trying to stop and then trying to now mediate so that it both protects the industry and then protects the consumer, then I'm sure for the meantime, the price floor will still be maintained.
And Derek, in the event that this standoff is not resolved quickly, what risks does it pose to fuel supply stability, investor confidence, and even the pump prices for consumers?
For consumers, the regulator is a regulator. They have the authority and the power to be able to regulate the downstream. And so what needs to be done, or what poses as a risk to the consumer, is that we are talking about a huge chamber. Star Oil supplies, or let me say, it has about 10.7% of the market share. COMAC as a body is now boasting around about 90% of the industry supply. And so that 10% supply that maybe Star Oil has control over, it's really, that is what can maybe influence. But you know what? The regulator comes out with policy that this is the rate that be able to sell for some that Star Oil has full right, cannot it that apply what the regulator will. It is just that maybe pulling out of the part, if whatever version or whatever that is control or whatever benefit that Star Oil would have joined in terms of collaboration, in terms of promotion, in terms of the good role that COMAC as a unified body would have had, Star Oil now will not be able to enjoy those kind of privileges. The platform that they used to have as a consensus to be able to have a bargaining power, Star Oil will not be able to enjoy such bargaining power. If there's anything that they need to do to protect their members, Star Oil will not enjoy that. And so it is not healthy for the industry. As a Ghanaian oil marketing company that is now the leader, the industry, we expect Star Oil to not take an entrenched position, but be able to engage its chamber constructively so that they'll be able to arrive at an amicable solution. That is what will help the consumer, that is what will help their brand, and that is what will help the forward march of the country.
Senior Research and Policy Analyst at the Institute of Energy Security, Derek Hatcher, thank you so much for your input this very moment. Grateful having you on. You're still watching Business Live. We'll be back with more. Please stay. Hello again. Welcome back to Business Live. The Ministry of Finance has announced the development of a 10-year insurance master plan aimed at strengthening the insurance sector This plan, which is expected to be completed by the end of the year, will include reforms to address challenges such as pricing inefficiencies, low penetration rates, and other structural issues. Speaking at the investiture of the Ghana Insurance Association new president, a coordinating director at the Ministry of Finance, David Clotte Collinson, said the initiative is intended to position Ghana as an insurance hub in the sub-region.
The Ministry of Finance, with the support of the National Insurance Commission, has developed the insurance sector strengthening strategy, which is expected to be operationalized over the next 2 years. This strategy, developed as part of broader fiscal consolidation and economic recovery program, is expected to strengthen the institutional capacity of the sector, drive digital transformation and innovation, sanitize the market and improve regulatory reforms, as well as position the sector internationally to attract investors. Distinguished guests, to ensure the long-term sustainability of the sector, the Ministry of Finance, again in collaboration with industry stakeholders, will develop a 10-year insurance master plan this year. The insurance master plan will serve as a blueprint for policy, regulation, and institutional reforms aimed at addressing structural challenges such as low penetration, fragmented regulatory frameworks, pricing inefficiencies, and other market constraints to ensure financial inclusion, promote innovation and competitiveness, and position Ghana as a regional insurance hub. We have also taken note of the Ghana Insurance Association's call for group life insurance to be made compulsory. Government recognizes the potential of this proposal, not only to safeguard livelihoods, but also to strengthen the long-term sustainability of the insurance sector. We'll give this proposal due consideration in the review of the Insurance Act.
Sustainable use of natural resources and energy finance program implemented with the financial support of the European Union and AFD officially closed, marking a significant milestone in Ghana's efforts to promote sustainable finance, climate-friendly investment, and private sector-led green growth. The initiative, spearheaded by the Energy Commission, supported Ghana's move towards green energy with the construction of some energy-efficient buildings in the country. More in this report.
SANREF has supported the completion of about 7 projects representing a total loan portfolio of $20 million. The completed projects have achieved measurable climate and energy outcomes, including estimated annual energy savings of 7,736 megawatts per hour, among others. Speaking to journalists at the closing ceremony and tour of some buildings that benefited under the project, Coordinator Ebenezer Ashi said Ghanaian banks have been given more capacity to finance green initiatives.
In terms of green financing, I mean, the partner banks, their capacity have been built, and now they have the confidence to finance green investment currently in the country. In terms of we financing green building, that's what we are witnessing now. This is an energy efficiency building. I mean, these buildings have been ranked. In terms of the edge software, we have been able to achieve more than a minimum of 20% in terms of energy savings. I mean, they also benefit in terms of water usage as well.
Some of the funding partners have also been speaking to Joy Business about the impact created so far.
At the same time, there's an increasing competition for EU development funds, and therefore it is of incredible importance to have other actors step in. And in this particular sector, it is very fit for development institute, banks, for private sector to step in also. So what we are doing as a Team Europe effort together with France is to support the investments in clean and more efficient energy. This is what our new approach, also called Global Gateway, is all about, and this is what we are doing as a Team Europe here.
This is a clear milestone toward more efficient future in terms of energy mitigation, reduction of emissions, in terms of transforming, Ghana, SMEs, the whole energy sector. And this is a good example. We are the oil and marine building, and we can see all the question of solar panels, the question of how to be efficient, to manage it more efficiently. That's exactly what we want to achieve through this kind of financing and technical support.
As the SANREF program concludes, stakeholders emphasize the importance of building on SANREF's achievements to further scale up sustainable finance in Ghana and strengthen climate-resilient investments.
More on energy-related stories, the government of Japan has reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to the long-standing and mutually beneficial relationship with Ghana. Over the years, Japan has remained a key partner in Ghana's energy sector and other strategic areas of the economy. This came to light during a visit to the Kpone Independent Power Plant site by the Japanese delegation led by the ambassador to Ghana.
Sun Power Generation Limited, owners of the Kpone Independent Power Plant, played host to a high-level Japanese delegation led by Japan's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ayano Kunimitsu, and the Japanese ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Hiroshi Yoshimoto. The visit underscored the deepening Ghana-Japan cooperation in energy and infrastructure. Senpai's partnership with Japan dates back to a 2010 investment mission led by the late president, Professor John Evans Atta Mills, where Sumitomo Corporation emerged as the project's key Japanese partner. Today, Sumitomo holds a 28% stake, marking its first power sector investment in sub-Saharan Africa. Welcomed by Senpai Board Chair Samuel Nana Brew Butler and senior management, the delegation toured the Kpone Independent Power Plant facility, witnessing first-hand operations at one of Ghana's most strategic power plants, a facility contributing 10% of national installed capacity. The ambassador, His Excellency Hiroshi Yoshimoto, noted that Japan remains committed to supporting projects that strengthen energy resilience, private sector participation, and sustainable growth across Africa.
The president of Sumitomo Company and the President Mahama met and discussed this issue and moving very smoothly on the track. But there's something remains, as you mentioned, to the approval revised PPA. Actually, the Susumitsu met the permanently, friendshiply Japan and Ghana, and we asked him to do something to expedite the process. On the evening last night, I introduced Mr. Akiyama to the chairperson of that Friendship League, and he promised to do something in favor of the Senpai issue.
Japan's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ayano Kunimitsu, was happy with the warm relationship and believes there's a need to improve the collaboration between Japan and Ghana.
And yesterday, we visited Vice President and Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of the Trade and Business. And regarding this, your performance, we discussed how we keep going, how we improve the more collaboration. And I really hope that this experience and will help us to further collaboration.
Senpai Board Chair Samuel Nana Brew Butler shares the importance of the visit.
Since June 2019, when we reached commercial operation date, the plant has been running efficiently and competently and seamlessly been able to move from various liquids or fuels, from liquid fuel, LCO, to including diesel, and then to gas seamlessly. The technology and the operations of this place has been heavily been relied upon with Japanese culture and way of doing things. Therefore, they are part and parcel of this project. And it was only appropriate that if the foreign minister was visiting Ghana, they added this to the place of call.
Nana Brew Butler is optimistic about 2026, expressing confidence that government efforts to address key financial challenges will position the company for a strong performance.
Pardon me, yes, we did have some challenges, but I can say confidently that since the Mahama administration came, they have continued from where we left off. They have picked up, they have restructured the debts that due us.
Thanks so much for watching Business Live for today. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Feel free to log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Grateful serving you.